My name is Zugisa. I am 13 years old. I live here in Thula. I live with my friends and family. Now I'm gonna tell you my story about how we live here in Thula. We are more than 10,000 people who are living here. It is very dry and hot and far from the city. We go to the big shops by train, but we like to live here. We want to make this place beautiful as soon as possible. This is where I live. I live with my mother and my 2 sisters and my 2 brothers. People buy irons to build houses and they also use things from rubbish dumps. We stick newspapers inside on the iron because it is cold in winter and very hot in summer. Some people use soil to make mud houses like our grandparents did. These houses are very warm and comfortable in winter. This is Mtwana and Vusi. They are brother and sister.
Mina nomntana kithi silala ngapha si2. Umama wami noNhlanhla balala ngale be3. Into engikhongcono la endlini ukuthi mangabe kulalwa ngoba vele neroom incane asilali kahle ngoba silala nga2 fanele ngabe iroom enkulu silala umunye ulala endaweni yakhe nomunye ulala endaweni yakhe. Yiyo nje into engibonayo.
And then futhi kumnandi sakhona futhi nokudlala kamnandi emzinkini kodwa sesathuka ukudlala emzinkini. Ngoba ngala mini ngesikhathi kuze kuliwa babulala elinye irasta khona lapha emakontineni. Manje siyake nokusike sithuke sometimes ngoba bebukele irasta lapha emakontineni. People try to make beautiful gardens. And we also grow food because there are no shops here where we can buy fresh food. We also don't have electricity and fridges to keep it fresh. We must buy ice to keep things cold, and we carry water from the tanks to water our vegetables. For me, water is important, and for anybody. Trucks bring water for the tanks twice a day. People put bleach in the water because the tanks have not been cleaned ever. Everybody has to fetch water from the tanks to use at home. People queue up for water and they line up the containers in the queue to mark their place. Then when the truck comes, they rush to find their place. We children have to fetch water for our families. Thula carries it on her head. But I am not so strong. I bring it in the wheelbarrow. Sometimes the truck does not come and fill the tanks. Then we have to leave the settlement and go very far to look for water. Some people fetch water from the city by taxi. We go to farms and other places, and at this farm, they let us have water to take home. People can live without food, but they cannot live without water. The water that we use for washing is not so clean as the water for cooking and drinking, so we keep it outside. My mother washes her body first, then my sister, then I wash myself behind the curtain. My 2 brothers wash in their own small shack outside. This place was built for us children where we can play. We called it Ubuhlebuyeza. The beauty is coming. We use it all the times. I get up at 5 o'clock to get ready for school. There is no mirror in the house, but you can use the window. My shoes are too small, but you are not allowed to go to school if you don't wear the right shoes and the school uniform. Sometimes I don't have breakfast, like today I did not have bread and tea. The paraffin is finished, so I could not boil water, and I also washed in cold water. I attend school at Thula Combined School because I want education. Education is the key to survive. To me, it is important to attend school to become more clever.
There were criminals here, and those criminals were coming from places like Soweto, and they came from there to steal, to rob people here. They decided to catch this criminal, and they catch one of them. They beat him up and stoned him and asked him, where are the others? Because he was beaten, he just pointed anyone, and he pointed my father as one of them. And they took my father to stone him too. He said, I'm not a criminal, and they didn't care about that. They started to beat him. The reason the people were so angry was because the criminals had killed a shopkeeper. They called the police, but they could not stop them from robbing us. They beat my father, and they poured him with the paraffin. And this when I came up with, and then I said, no, you cannot kill my father, you better kill me instead of killing my father.
Girls help their mothers to cook food. We don't always have meat, but today we are lucky. We cook inside the house when we have the paraffin, but when we don't have the paraffin, we cook on the fire outside. We eat mostly mealie meal and spinach and tomatoes. We buy the mealie meal, but we don't always buy the spinach and tomatoes because we grow it in the garden. At night, I take a candle to do my homework. I do it on the floor because there is the place to put my books around me while I work.
Oh my gosh!
Sometimes the adults want to watch television at night. If there is a soccer match, they get very noisy and the children can struggle to sleep. to church because I want Jesus to help me to get the things that I want for me and my family. I want him to guide me wherever I go. We don't like to go to the toilet alone at night. It is too scary. We are afraid of bad people and spooks and tikoloshes. We all go together and help each other, then we are not so scared. I have a dream last night. It was my birthday, and it was a big house and a big kitchen. It have the electricity. I was too happy. When I wake up, I was too angry because I was no longer in the beautiful place. I was back in my shack. Children suffer the most, so adults must listen to what the children have to say about their problems.